Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Walking Dead Post Show podcast. In this episode, we'll be discussing episode 311 entitled I Ain't a Judas. Hello everyone, I'm Jesse Mofo Rice, and joining me today is Tristan, Brave Sam 429.
Hello.
So Tristan, what'd you think about that episode? It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a pretty good episode. I like the ending a lot.
Andrea, we got to see some of that ass.
Yeah.
You wanna go ahead and give us a summary of it?
All right. So, at the beginning, they're pretty much deciding whether they want to leave or not, and Herschel and wants to leave, and I think Merle kind of gives his opinion. He's locked up in the background. He tells them they should have left last night, which is the night after the gunfight. I'm thinking, right? I mean,
I believe so, yes.
but Rick says that he wants to stay, and I guess it's sort of like that's kind of the way it is, because
Does
Glenn
Rick want to
says,
stay and fight, or he wants to stay
yeah,
and
yeah,
fight,
because
right?
Rick wants to stay and fight, because then Glenn's like, Rick says we're staying. I mean, and
Okay.
that's kind of the end of it, I think.
Okay.
But Herschel says he was gonna walk off and just kind of leave, like he was kind of angry after people disagreed with him, and Herschel says, "You once said this isn't a democracy, so own up to it. I put my family in your hands. Now you got to get your head together and stop acting all crazy and like a fool." Um, then that's pretty much the end of that scene. After that, it cuts to a scene where Rick's out looking through binoculars and looking out into the woods, and Carl comes out there and tells Rick pretty much that he needs to rest and that
He needs to step down as leader. Let
yeah,
Daryl
well,
Herschel take over, right?
yeah, he tells him he needs to rest and take a break from being leader. That Herschel and Daryl needs to can step up and be the leader for a while Rick's taking a break because he's going insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually think right there was where the intro started, but anyway, or you know,
The intro to the show, yes,
yeah.
yes. And
So
then and then a commercial break.
that's a big part right there, commercial break. But anyway, then it moves to Woodbury, and the governor seems to be talking to Milton about putting together an army, seeing how many able-bodied people they have, and
including children.
yeah, people 13 and up. And Milton kind of questions what the governor says. He says these are kids, and the governor says they're adolescents.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, then I think in the middle of that, Andrea walks in, and she is kind of mad about the prison, the whole thing with the prison, because the governor, went and attacked the prison, and I guess Andrea is pretty angry about it, and then the governor, I guess, tries to cover it up by saying, they shot at us first, that they want, they're trying to kill us. It's not really us. We're sort of, I guess, more retaliating against them from that. But then, after their kind of argument there, Andrea goes to walk out, and the governor says, "If you go to that prison, stay there." Oh, by the way, Andrea at this point was wanting to go to the prison. She wanted to go see him, and
Hmm.
the governor tells her, "If you go to that prison, stay there." But anyway, at this point,
Excuse
it
me.
seems like both sides are trying to, I guess, prepare for the fight against each other. But anyway, it after that scene, it swaps to a thing where Merle and Herschel are talking.
This is kind of like the first time they've really talked to each other, right? That's
Yeah,
kind
as
of
far as I
feeling
know,
I
this
get
is
to it.
more or less like the first big part of dialogue we see anyway.
Hmm.
So Merle is talking to the governor, and I think they quote Bible verses and sort of connect a bit right there. But um, more or less, Merle is the big part of the scene is Merle's giving information about the governor, what kind of man he is, and this was one of the previews too. So if you've already seen this, or if you saw the preview, then you know what happens here. But he pretty much tells Herschel that the governor is gonna kill off Merle and Michonne and the rest of the group and leave Rick for last. That way he can watch his friends die. And that he said that's the kind of man you're dealing with.
That's
So
a cold
yeah,
motherfucker.
that's man. That's like some major mind games right there, and it's you
Hmm.
know. But anyway, uh, after that, I think I think this is the part where
Let's see.
this is the part where Andrea goes up to Milton and talks to him about
Yeah.
wanting to go to the prison, and
Uh. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Milton is sort of he's Milton being Milton. He's really like edgy and like I don't know of a word for it, but he's kind of jumpy and he doesn't know what he's he's totally against her going to the prison and um I don't know. He's again, this is the part where he's kind of doesn't know, like at least the viewer doesn't know like whose side Milton's on and what he's, you know. I guess when I say what side he's on, I mean what um
Milton is, I believe, he acts conflicted. I think he's scared
yeah,
of the gut.
that's a good word for it, conflicted.
I think he's scared
Yeah.
of the governor, but he would like to be in the prison with them.
I don't know if he wants to be in the prison or not. Like
He's scared of something. He's either scared of the governor, or he's scared of the other group, or he's scared of the prison, or I don't know what the hell he's scared of.
I think he's scared of the governor, but I can't imagine you'd want to be at the prison. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's true. I kind of thought of that when I said it, but I mean, I don't know. I think he's a good person deep down. I don't know what's going to happen to him or what he's going to do, but I think he is a good person.
Yeah, but anyway, Andrea tells Milton she wants to go back to prison, and anyway, then it swaps to the governor, and he's looking at his eye. He takes his eye patch off, and he gets that new black eye patch, which I will say makes him look a lot.
Doesn't that make him look like a badass dude?
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
Yeah, but anyway, so Milton is showing his loyalty or I guess fear of the governor here by going and telling him what Andrea is doing. Uh, he tells the governor that she plans to go to the prison, and Milton is thinks that the governor's testing him when he says to go with her. But anyway, Milton ends up going with her, and the governor, I think, is sort of at this point he kind of knows that Milton is trustworthy, at least um, whether he's scared into trustworthiness or is actually loyal. He's loyal. um, but anyway, then I think it swaps to a scene where Andrea and Milton are on their way to the prison, and they cut off the walker's arm and take out its jaw to where,
Like Michonne did with her pets.
yeah, like Michonne did with her two walkers, to where they wouldn't be bothered by other walkers. And at this point, um, Tyreese and his group shows up, and Milton leads them back to Woodbury. So Milton
Right.
leaves Andrea at this point, and she's on her own with that walker going to the prison. Um, then it swaps to just a really quick scene of Michonne and Merle talking, and pretty much Merle says, this that was business, me going after you. I had to do it to keep the governor happy, pretty much. And he says, I hope we can get past that, and you forgive me for it. So that was just a little quick scene between them. Uh,
Right. You kind of got it mixed up a little bit, but the next one is when Andrea arrives at the prison, I believe.
hmm?
I believe you kind of got those scenes mixed up, but the next one is Andrea arrives at the prison. Hey, it's okay. Don't
What do
worry
you
about
mean?
it. Well, see, Andrea and Milton do the walker thing, like they're preparing the walker, and then it cuts to Michonne and Merle talking, and then back to Andrea and Milton where Tyreese meets them.
Oh well.
It's
Anyway,
okay
whatever.
though.
They're good enough. It's in the same area, so
Yeah, it's
yeah.
okay.
Anyway,
I shouldn't have said anything.
mm, anyway, Andrea is then seen by Carl coming into the prison and Maggie, and they go get Rick and the rest of the group, and They let her in, but they are incredibly hard on her, and
Indeed, I thought a little harsh, but I did understand it to a certain extent why they were treating him like that. But I don't really agree with how harsh
I,
they were being.
I mean, I guess they were being a bit harsh, but I definitely think they can't really take any chances. She has been living with the governor, so, and I mean, according to Merle, sleeping with him and everything. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
or that's what Merle told them anyway. So you can't really blame them. They have to be cautious a little bit. But anyway, um, they pretty much bring her back in, and she learns about everybody that's died, Lori and um,
Shane and T Dog.
Shane. Um, so they just kind of chat about it, and they're in there talking, and she says, there's room for you guys in Woodbury, but Merle kind of shoots that down right quick. He says, that's not true. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then uh, Andrea wants she's trying to get it where they're gonna try to work it out. That way they're not fighting, killing each other. She doesn't have her two.
I think Andrea believes that the prison is totally outnumbered and would get just demolished.
And in fairness, in a fair fight, I think they would.
Yeah, they would.
Like if there wasn't some like if this wasn't TV, they would.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess that's the best way to put it. But anyway, after that sort of group scene where Andrea's talking to the rest of the group, Andrea and it swaps to a scene where Andrea and Michonne are talking. They're kind of arguing about you know Andrea leaving Michonne and all this, and then Andrea finds out that the governor sent Merle to kill Michonne, and I think that's sort of a bit of a turning point almost. It seems like to me to um, like the way Andrea feels. I don't know if it's just me, but she seems there to kind of like she starts crying and realizes that maybe the governor isn't always cracked up to be. I don't know if that's just me seeing that, but it's kind of the way it came over to me. But anyway, then it changes over to a scene. The next part is the governor talking to Tyreese after they have gotten back and they're in a room.
I thought that this was a very important scene, but go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I think the governor tells Tyreese and his group about. He doesn't actually tell them who it is, but he says some people that dangerous people that came in and attacked them. They were fatalities and all this. And I think Tyreese and the governor or Tyreese and his group say that um, they'll do whatever they can to earn their keep, and they say that they kind of want to stay, but they found out the governor found out that Tyreese had just came back from the prison, and that their leader's nuts, and he kicked them out.
Who
And
was the guy? Who was the guy with Tyrese that was so excited to go back to the prison and kill the group?
it was either Ben or Alan. I'm
Okay,
not sure which one it was. It was one. It was one of the other two guys with him.
one of them's dead, isn't it?
Huh? No,
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Go
a
ahead.
woman died. It was a
Oh
woman.
yeah, you're right. Please excuse my stupidity.
Um. Anyway, they pretty much Tyrese kind of gives sort of his loyalty almost to the governor, I guess. He tells him that he kind of knows. The governor asks if he knows the way out of the prison. And Tyrese says he can do what he can, and he'll give him what information he can. And at this point, I think the governor kind of wants him to stay. I mean, he wants
Yes,
the
as
governor
many
wants
people as he
his.
can.
Well, not to mention he wants his information on the prison.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too.
But anyway, after that, it moves to a scene with Carol and Andrea. She's talking about um, how everybody died, and they were sort of unimportant. She held the baby and talked about that, but the biggest one was where Carol tells her that Rick killed Shane.
The only reason that I put that down is because I thought that would be more important. I thought Andrea would judge Rick for that or something, but she really didn't.
And she didn't seem to. I think after Carol said Shane or Andrea said Shane loved Rick, And then
Yeah.
Carol comes back with Shane loved Lori,
Yes.
which is a good way to explain that. Like that was Shane's downfall. He like while yes, I think he did care about Rick at some point. I think he was blinded by his uh,
Attraction towards.
Lori and her pushing him away. But anyway, that's not the point. Anyway, she finds out about that, and like you said, I thought she was gonna be a bit more harsh or not harsh, but angry about that. But she wasn't. Um, she didn't seem to be too freaked
Upset.
out about it. She just kind of accepted it. But then it swaps to the scene where Andrea is actually going back to Woodbury, and Rick hands her back her weapons, and tells her, be careful, whatever. And she says, "Well, you too." This is like one of those moments where it was almost like sort of bonding between them, I guess. That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like Rick wasn't quite as insane and he wasn't quite as untrusting as what he was when she came in. So, uh, and they did give her a car to go back in and everything. So,
Hmm.
so I do think they.
A Crown Vic, baby.
Oh, whoa! I just left out a crazy part.
What'd you leave out?
Oh my goodness! So back in the part where Carol's talking to Andrea, she tells Andrea that she could end it, that she needed to go back and
Oh yeah, you're right.
give the governor the best night of his life, and then while he's sleeping, kill him. Take a knife and kill him. End it.
Hmm.
Uh, so I didn't mean to skip that, but I totally forgot about that. But
So
anyway,
Andrea's back at Woodbury.
yeah. Now Andrea's back at Woodbury, and they are they come
Heavily
in and
fortified.
they are very like they seem to be kind of harsh towards her to begin with. They everybody's got their gun pointed at her hand. They even see who it is, and they're like, "Put your hands up." I mean, they shine the light in the car as soon as she gets there, and they say, put her hands up" and all that. So I don't know if they thought that just because she was gone for a few hours, she was hostile or what. But anyway, she ended up being back in the prison and near the governor, so I guess they didn't. But um, there's some dialogue between her and the governor. She pretty much says. Uh, Andrea says it was her choice that she decided to came back to Woodbury. It wasn't something that Rick told her to do, and I think he asked her why, and she kind of I almost avoided the question, and then he's like, "Well, it's because you belong here," and that's the part where I think they start to get sexual.
They getting down and dirty, baby.
Yep. So then it swaps scenes, and Beth and the rest of the group are sitting there, and Beth starts singing, and then Daryl and Herschel and Rick have some dialogue uh while she's singing in the background. Rick's holding the baby, and
Yeah, I couldn't hear what they said, so
they just pretty much discuss like their options, like leaving, staying, all that good stuff, or what they're gonna do now. And Rick tells Daryl he's glad he's back. Um, and then I think it talked about I think Rick talked about going on a run, and Daryl says, "Okay, I'll start getting ready. We'll go, whatever." But Rick says, "No, I want you to stay here. I need you to watch your brother." And then he says, "I'm glad you're." Or no, that's when he said, "I'm glad you're back." He said, "I'm glad you're back." But
okay.
if something goes wrong with Merle, that's on you. So in other words, if Merle turns out to be some kind of monster or whatever, it's Daryl. It's his problem. Or that was the gist of what he said. Um,
So
and anyway,
And then after that he says Rick, Carl, and Michonne are going on a run, right?
hmm yeah, he tells Daryl about him, and he says, "I think Carl's ready. I need to take Michonne with me." And I'm guessing he wanted to take Michonne with him because of the tension between Merle and Michonne. I still feel like there's tension there. I don't know if that's exactly it, but that's got to be some of it, I think. But anyway, because I don't know if she's even trustworthy yet. I don't, maybe he's taking her with him to see if she's trustworthy. I don't know, but pretty much he announces to Daryl that they're going on a run. Him, Carl, and Michonne. Then it swaps scenes now to Andrea, and she is sleeping with the governor. And well, I mean, I guess this is post sex, but um, they're I guess the governor's asleep. She gets up and pulls out a knife out of her pants and um, goes over to the governor, and like she has that knife probably inches, like maybe a foot or two away from the governor.
Tristan, she gets so close.
I know. Um,
uh,
yeah, she gets really close to it, and I guess she just second guessed herself and decided not to. But it ended with her looking out a window. I don't know. That was kind of a awkward ending. Like the way she just kind of turned around and walked out and started looking out the window.
yeah,
Um, anyway, so yeah, that was a
that was the episode.
yep.
That was a very good summary, Tristan.
I appreciate it.
Okay, so the episode is titled "I Ain't a Judas," right?
hmm
So, where do you think everyone's loyalties stand? Because I'm thinking that a lot of people are conflicted.
Yeah, like this is I think is applies to just more than just one person.
Yeah, I'm
Like this
thinking Tyreese, Andrea,
Milton,
Milton,
Merle,
Merle. Yeah, those are
multiple.
the four I can think of. But
Yeah. Um,
maybe Karen. I don't know. She's had a lot of dialogue. She's gonna be important, I think, eventually.
I mean, I don't think in my opinion, I don't think she's against the governor at all. But I do think that um, I do have this idea that they're.
I think she's gonna back up Andrea though.
You think so?
I think she might. Yeah, once her whatever dies, that boy with asthma.
Oh, is that her son?
That's her something because I remember it's she's looking out for him because she was talking to Andrea about
See,
how
I
he's
didn't.
got
I didn't know
asthma.
if it
So
was actually her that was like saying that or what. I didn't know who it was. I didn't actually catch who it was that said he's. I think his name was Noah too, by the way, but I'm not positive.
yeah, I think it might have
That
been.
said he had asthma. I didn't know it was her that said that. I didn't realize. I just thought it was some random woman.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Anybody in The Walking Dead that's got dialogue, I don't know. I think she's gonna be important.
Maybe she'll just die.
That's her
I
importance.
mean,
Everyone, she
I
dies.
mean that was Axel. As soon as he starts getting quite a bit of dialogue, see, look what happens.
Yeah, maybe she's just like a person, so they don't have to kill off a main character. So they'll just make a new, slightly main character just to kill them off, just so
Yeah,
somebody can die.
yeah, yeah. Because like if you remember, there's been so many instances where if somebody speaks out, they die.
That's true. That's very true.
Dale speaks out against killing Randall. Same episode, gets
Dies.
gets torn apart by Walker. T Dog speaks out about not letting, or about keeping the prisoners. Gets bit. Axel, he just got some random dialogue.
He
Gets
got shot
shot
in
in
the
the head.
head.
I mean, it's just I don't know. But anyway,
Okay, so Tyrese, I wonder, he's the one that concerns me the most, to be honest with you, because he seems to be right now unpredictable. I don't really know what he's going to do.
I'm telling you right now, I'm a lot like Tyrese worries me, and I wonder if so. I've mentioned this a couple times, and now I wonder about it even more. It's that he's in the comics there was a traitor, and apparently Tyrese was a good guy in the comics, but I wonder if they might not make Tyrese a traitor because if you remember, he didn't exactly make anybody in the prison mad.
Right.
He
Mm-hmm.
Rick was the only
It
one
was
that.
a, that was all a misunderstanding.
Yeah, and Rick wasn't even mad at him. He
Yeah.
was he was about to let him stay until stupid Lori comes in and screws everything up like always.
Damn you, Ghost Lori.
Had to put that one on Reddit. Lori screws everything up.
Oh well, that was on Reddit. Andrea screws everything up, and I'm like, you stupid hoe. But go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, I wonder if he won't be a traitor. Like I said, I don't even know who it was in the comics. I have no idea. I haven't read them, but I've seen a couple things on Reddit and stuff that talked about a traitor, and I wonder if it's not going to be Tyrese, just because, like I said, he hasn't made anybody mad in the prison, and what were he to go back, I imagine they might accept him in. I mean, while yeah, it's sort of a bit of a it was a misunderstanding. I think that if he came back, they would probably let him in. And then the governor is probably it could have him under his wing. I mean, he really could because Tyreese just told him, we'll do what we got to do to earn our keep.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, see, that concerns me. It seems like Tyreese. See, Tyreese hasn't been around long enough to see which side is the good side.
yeah, and
So
he's
he doesn't
well,
know what to do.
actually, I don't think it matters. I think the good side for him is whichever side can give them a place to stay and
Okay, see,
protect.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't
And
been around long enough, so that's all he's judging these people on. It's like, hey, they've got a nice place. They must be good people. But I mean, you know,
like while the majority of Woodbury probably are decent people, we
they're
know
all
their leader
brainwashed by
isn't.
the governor, though, and the governor is turning them all into very evil people and people that are against prison. Was it Andrew or Michonne one said that the governor is portraying the prisoners or the prison group as these evil people that want to kill
Yeah,
everyone in
yeah.
Woodbury. So
And I mean that's not exactly the people in Woodbury's fault. I mean I'm assuming they don't understand that you know they don't understand what's going on. They don't know.
right, I
They
mean
don't realize that the prison.
it's never the citizens' fault, but the citizens that are brainwashed are still just as dangerous. I mean,
Hmm,
it's not their fault, but they
yeah,
are
they
still
call them
dangerous.
evil, and I don't think that they're evil. I think they're just brainwashed.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
And I don't even know if I would call it brainwashed, just severely misinformed.
Hmm, brainwashed.
I don't know because brainwashed it would be like if they saw evidence showing that the governor was a nut, they would continue to follow him. And I think that if that happened, I don't think they would because they like when that whole meltdown happened, they were ready to leave. So,
Yeah, good point. I guess you're probably right.
so I'm not real sure, but yeah, Tyreese worries me a lot.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna become a major player in this. I think by the end of it.
What about Andrea? You think she's a Judas?
Andrea, I don't think she's a traitor. She might be for the governor.
She is extremely conflicted, but I think she's leaning towards the prisoner side
Yeah,
more.
at this point, I think she's back with her old group. I think like you saw her, she was about ready to kill the governor. Like she surely thought about it because she had
Yeah,
that knife. She had that knife over him. He would have woke up.
this is relative. This person on Reddit, Asuri27, if you want credit, there you go. Why is this woman still engaging this guy she knows is a liar and a murderer? Literally the worst character ever. I don't think I agree with that. I think because I mean she's gonna kill him, or I think she was trying to kill him. I just think she's conflicted right now, and she wants that. She wants the cock. I mean, what can you say?
I don't know if that's the case either. I really don't.
Well,
I
Carol
think
did say give him a good night and then kill him. So maybe she
but
was.
here's the major issue. Like there's two.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. If you saw a jump cut or something happened, Tristan's mic went out, so multiple times, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're back now, hopefully, and we
Okay.
can finish. We were talking about Andrew's loyalty. That's what I
Yeah,
remember.
if I remember correctly, what I was gonna say was that she seems to um, feel like the people of Woodbury are that. That's why she doesn't really. She wonders about helping Rick and his group because if you remember, Rick says you can help us by getting us in Woodbury, and she says there's innocent people there that would just be
Mhm.
losing their lives for no reason, pretty much. And I wonder if that's why she's not killing the governor.
That's a good point that you bring up because I mean I never really thought about that. If you kill the governor, who's going to lead these people? Where are they going to go? They can't go to the prison. I mean I don't know what they'll do.
I
I
mean,
guess they would just have to
I'll
scatter.
like while I pretty much disagree with everything the governor does or stands for, whatever, he's kept them alive this long. So
Yeah,
I mean, that's sort of like Rick. Like I don't disagree with everything Rick's done, but he's kept them alive this long.
yeah, that's true.
And I would guess that the governor's lost less people than Rick has, except for maybe fighting against Rick. I mean, that's sort of
Well, that's because the
uncontrollable.
governor and all of them got really lucky in the fact that they just found a town with no one in it, with no opposition, and they could just take
Not
maybe there
not
may
to
have been
mention
opposition, but it was easy opposition.
not to mention they're really cruel and cold-hearted almost. I mean, or at least the governor is. He does what he wants. Like it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
He just goes kills people for supplies. I mean, that's just kind of him.
That'd probably be me in the zombie apocalypse. I'd be a cold-blooded son of a bitch. That was me shooting somebody.
Yeah, I got that. But anyway, yeah, I just that's the only thing that I wonder about Andrea is because I think she's worried about the innocent. people getting killed.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's just
Merle, is he a traitor? Is he going to betray the group?
I'm pretty convinced Merle's he has nowhere else to go. That's like that's my opinion on Merle. He has nowhere else to go. Like
Well, he can't go back to the governor because he's not on good terms with him, right? He's on like.
yeah. I mean
Okay.
he pretty much got the governor's daughter killed more or less. He told the governor Michonne was dead and she wasn't, and then Michonne came back and killed the governor's daughter. So and
Mhm.
that was the one thing the governor cared about still. So and after
Okay.
that he just went absolutely
Plus Merle. Not only does he have nowhere to go, but I'd say he's going to stick with Daryl. Maybe.
yeah. And I don't think Daryl's gonna leave Rick again either.
You know, well, I doubt it because for some reason Daryl and Merle are just going to stay in the group.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I just don't see Merle. I don't see Daryl leaving Rick again, and I don't think Merle would leave Daryl,
Okay.
like you said. So, and like I said, he has nowhere else to go. He can't go back to Woodbury, and if he's either out on the road or in the prison.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's not
Yeah.
much. He doesn't really have any other choice. So it's the prison or nowhere, pretty much.
who was the other guy we were worried
Milton,
about?
Milton.
Milton. Yeah, he's not that important, but what do you think?
I think he could be important, but I just
Like
he's
I say, I think he's
sort of
just.
discussed that a bit, but I think he's scared into loyalty, like you say.
Yeah, that's so we pretty much agree on that. There's really nothing else to
But
say.
I wonder if he might not actually like he could just be loyal. I mean, he is sort of telling the governor everything he wants to know, and he could have just sort of left that away. He didn't have to tell the governor that Andrea was going to the prison. He could have acted like he didn't know.
hmm
But
That's true. He did choose to do that, so. But I don't know. I just think he's scared. I don't know though.
I mean, he definitely seems like a weak guy and very
Yes.
unprepared for the zombie apocalypse.
Yes, he
So
does.
he seems like he could be very easily twisted to do something.
Yeah, he seems like a pushover.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good word for it.
Um, let's see. You got any topics you want to talk about?
I mean, what do you think about well, I was gonna never mind, I don't even know.
I got
What do you think
something.
about the preview? That's what it was.
The preview.
Well, go ahead and if you had something about the actual show, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with every episode, it seems to me like Rick's leadership is becoming more and more. I don't know, not as powerful, not as influential towards them, and they're kind of like starting to lose hope in his leadership, I think. So I was just wondering what you think about Rick's future as the leader of the group.
Um,
Because, I mean, this was actually brought up in this episode. We've talked about this in previous, but Carl said you should step down. That's first, and Herschel also confronted Rick about his leadership skills. So I'm just wondering if something's going to happen to Rick in terms of him being leader.
um, so here's my thoughts on Rick. Like he doesn't seem to be going crazy at the moment.
No, he
He
seemed
seems
to.
to be level-headed at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too worried about his
Do,
where his
do
sanity.
you
Like,
think Carl's statement influenced that? Because it seemed to me like it did. It seemed like he was still a little loopy up until Carl said, I think you should step down as leader. And then I think he got a little more, he's like, okay, I got to get it into gear. I got to get back to being, these people need me. I got to get back to leading these
well, I
people.
think this actually kind of fits in with what's gonna with the preview a bit, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
How?
because well, he's sort of they're gonna leave and go on a run to um I, what I assume to be back to their hometown, and that's I'm guessing where
Whoa,
they
you
will.
think Rick's going all the way back to his hometown?
I don't think it's that far away.
Is it not? Oh.
I don't think it is. I mean,
Well, yeah. Herschel's farm was outside Atlanta, right?
yeah, I mean it was somewhere outside Atlanta,
But
and
they traveled on that interstate for a long way. Uh, when Dale was in that damn RV and shit.
well, I mean I can't imagine. I don't know that he's going back for Morgan. But I can't imagine that Morgan would be anywhere else.
That's a good point. So that's what you think the guy on the roof was, right? Is more,
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that was Morgan. Yeah.
but Morgan was leaving the town as well at the end of the first episode, or when they part ways in the first episode, were they not?
Yeah, he was. But
So maybe they're just going to run into each other in like a another town.
nope. Nope.
You don't think so? Okay.
No, I don't. Not at all. Morgan is gonna be, at least from the previews we saw. It looks like there are traps everywhere, wherever they are. So whoever that is has been there for a
Mm.
while
Well, think
and
about.
knows what's going on.
Well, I mean, it's been well over 9 months since they last saw each other. Are you there? Okay, Tristan's having trouble with his mic again, I believe. But okay, gonna have to use a second mic.
I have to use my thing here, but hold on, let me cut you down because you are really loud.
Okay, do what you got to do. Sound quality comes second to you being here. So
Okay, so anyway, about Morgan, yeah, I'm not. I'm pretty convinced it's gonna be Morgan, and I'm pretty convinced it's gonna be back to uh Rick's hometown. And there's a couple of reasons, like um, again, this we're still on Rick's leadership role, but I wanted to touch on this because we're talking about it right now. um, back back when you can hear me, right?
yep, sure can.
Okay, back when I just wanted to make sure I don't want it to be me to be talking away and you not hear me.
I
But
understand. Yeah.
anyway, back at the part where Rick is talking to Daryl about going on a run, he says Carl's ready now. And while I guess it could sound just like, um, they're only go on, he's just saying Carl's ready to go on a run. He's ready to step up. I wonder if he's not. I wonder if he doesn't mean Carl's ready now. He's ready to go back where he grew up.
Hmm. You know, I'm not sure. I'm just not thinking that they're gonna make that long of a trip. I think they're pretty far out from it, to be honest.
It
Because
doesn't. It doesn't seem like he's that far to me. I'm expecting him to be going back to
they
like
might.
a different town, but wherever they go, they'll find Morgan.
Yeah, I think Morgan's gonna be in the next episode.
And another thing, Morgan was supposed to be leaving their hometown. Now, again, this is my opinion that they're still in Rick's hometown. That's what I'm gonna assume that's the case.
Okay.
So he was supposed to leave there. There something caused him not to leave there, and that makes me think that his son died.
I don't. So, okay. You know what? That might be true because, you're right. At the end of the episode, they weren't leaving. When they parted ways, the last we see of Morgan is him trying to snipe his wife. So,
Yeah,
he actually
and
hadn't left yet. So, he might not be gone, but I don't know.
repeat that statement what you just said. The last time we saw Morgan, he was what?
Well, the last time we saw Morgan, he was trying to snipe his wife. Remember,
And he couldn't pull it off.
he couldn't pull it off. So, he was still in the town when we last saw him. So, I guess I didn't remember that right. So, he might still be there.
I'm not gonna elaborate on this, but I wonder if that's important. He couldn't pull it off.
You think that might be the reason why he's there still? If he's still at the town? Because he can't
Um,
leave his wife, maybe.
the no, not that's not what I'm.
You know what would be some fucked up shit is if they came back and his wife had eaten his son.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, dude.
Oh, you think that's what happened?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah,
That would be some emotional shit.
that's like, be. What else would cause him to stay in town besides his son dying? Like, I can't imagine. Like,
Well, we're assuming that he stayed in town. I don't know if he stayed in town, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty
In fact,
convinced
I'm going to call that a very slim chance that he's still in the town.
I'm pretty sure we've hit on what's gonna happen next episode.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's our predictions.
That's
Dwayne
my
has been.
prediction. That's
Dwayne.
my prediction.
Okay, that's Tristan's prediction.
That's like a bold. That's a bold thing. Like, that's insane if that happens.
Dwayne has been eaten by his mother, which has caused Morgan to stay in the town.
Yep. That's my bold prediction.
Okay.
I
Well,
mean, I don't know it. It, we'll see. But I mean, back to Rick. I guess back to his leadership, which is what we were originally talking about. Um, I don't know. It's questionable, but uh, I feel like he's sort of snapped back into a thing where like he obviously is trying to protect the group. Like with the Andrea thing, he was obviously cautious there.
mm-hmm.
Like most people probably would have welcomed her with open arms,
Yeah.
whereas he didn't. Like he kind of realized and understood. We can't exactly
Okay.
do this.
So you think his mindset's still there, where you can't trust everybody and stuff? So okay,
I mean, I think he gets it. I think Herschel kind of put him back in place too when he said,
that's what I
"My
meant.
family's in your hands."
Mm-hmm.
You've got to snap out of this. You once said this isn't a democracy. Now you got to own up to it. I think Herschel kind of snapped him back into it, along with, like you said, I agree with you. Carl probably had a little bit to do in that too, and I think, um, I think they're, I think Rick will be all right.
All
I
right.
think his leadership is gonna hold true for a while. By the way, I don't, not that you care, but Beth is on The Walking Dead, or
Beth
on The
is
Talking Dead
Talking
rather.
Dead. I don't care. she's not that. She's not that important to me. I really could care less. But
Yeah.
I have no other topics. I hope. Do you have one?
There was, uh, I did actually want to talk about, we didn't really see it uh, progress a whole lot, but the well, there's actually a couple. One of them is the Maggie Glenn situation. They seem
That
to be sort of back
that's.
on decent terms
I was
again.
about to say that. That seems to be not as high of a problem.
Best I can tell it, they seem to be back on good terms anyway. So
Yeah. Well, it's because I think that there are bigger problems right now. So
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think that just kind of left in the dust. I don't think they're even going to touch on that really anymore. But I just did want to point that out that they seem to be back
yeah.
um, wherever. But pretty much, I guess the last thing is Andrea and the governor. Really, like,
Oh yes, 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 yes.
you
Andrea is going to kill the governor. It's that simple.
think she is?
I think she might. I think she's thinking about. She's obviously thinking about it. Like this goes back to that loyalty topic, traitor topic or whatever. Yeah, she's going to kill him. She's going to be with the group. I think. If she's not, she's going to die.
I see Andrea surviving for some reason. So I don't know if she's gonna kill him. Like I have this.
Her
I don't know how else she could get out though. Like I agree with you. I don't know how else she could leave Woodbury besides to kill the governor now.
her or Rick one will kill the governor.
You think I wondered if it wouldn't be Merle
Nah, Merle's not going to kill him.
or maybe Michonne.
I don't think so. I don't think Michonne will either. I think it makes the most sense to me that Andrea will kill him, because she's conflicted right now and they're building that shit up like ridiculously. I think she's gonna do it.
The only reason I sort of said Michonne was just to give her some sort of. Hold on one second. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay, Tristan.
You go ahead and continue talking if you have something to say.
Uh, I mean, I really have nothing to say except for Andrea is going to kill the governor. That's really all I had to say.
I'm watching another preview on The Talking Dead right now. Sorry, that's what I was doing.
Are you serious? That is not more important.
Okay, it's over. I just wanted to see what was going on. So
Okay.
I guess I can talk about that,
Okay, what
even though you
happened?
didn't see it. I guess I can talk about it. Pretty much, I think I caught it midway through, but pretty much Rick and Michonne and Carl are in a car where Michonne is driving
Okay.
and Rick is in the front seat and Carl is in the back, and they get stuck. There's actually a overturned car. They're in some grass. There's an overturned car, and there's a zombie under it, under the vehicle. And they stop to like they don't get out or anything, but they kind of look out the window and look at it for a second, and then their car is stuck in
I
the
was about to
mud.
say, is that the one where their car's stuck in the mud? Yeah, we've already seen that. That was in the preview right after the episode.
Well, but this was like a
It
minute
was that
thing.
was like that scene only, wasn't it?
Well, it was like a minute long thing though where they were doing this. It wasn't just that one piece of a scene that we saw.
Right.
It was a bit of a longer part of it, but then walkers start to surround it, and Rick uh, looks at Michonne almost like it's her fault that they got stuck just then, and
Okay.
all that. Like, sort of just I don't know. Do you? I guess that's another good point. That's another thing we could talk about. Is Michonne and Rick and the group? How does Michonne fit in? Is she
Okay.
accepted now? You think?
Yes. Yes, I think so. But I don't accept her.
I mean, I know you don't like her, but
I think yes, she is in the group. I mean, she's done a lot for him. She's protected him. I think she's part of that group.
I think they are still cautious with her.
You think so? They don't
That's the
seem
reason.
to be.
Well, there's a couple reasons for that. Like for one, that preview. Number one reason was that preview right there. Like, well, not
Okay.
number one reason, but a reason or two. Like Rick wanted to take Michonne with him for some reason, and it wasn't just because she had good, survival skills. I mean, I find it odd that he took Michonne with him along with Carl. I mean, that's not exactly taking like a. I
Hmm.
don't know. It seems a bit odd that Rick's taking Michonne and
Oh yeah,
Carl.
Rick's taking Michonne. I mean, that right there proves that he trusts her enough. I mean,
Well, but he could be taking her to keep an eye on her too.
I don't. I don't know. That's a good point as well. But I think he's doing it because she's an important asset to the group and she'll save his ass.
And another thing is like in that point, or in that preview, she was driving.
Mm-hmm.
Every scene I've seen Rick where he's in a vehicle, he's driving.
Oh, okay, okay.
So did he let her drive?
I don't really see that as an important thing though, to be honest. I mean, you know.
I don't know. I still think that she is like that her. When I say loyalty, I don't guess I mean that. When her whether she is an actual, I guess it would be loyal. Whether she's really loyal to the group, I think it's going to come into question a time or two, maybe even in the next episode. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I just for some reason feel like she's I don't know. She still seems to be almost she's one of those members of the group that's sort of on the back burner. It kind of reminds me she's like a Merle, but they trust her a bit more.
Okay. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that to be honest with you.
But anyway, yeah, that's more or less all. I guess that's pretty. I didn't really have anything else to talk about. Do you?
Nah, I really don't. So I guess that's it.
Yep, that was
That
good.
was
That was a good episode. I liked it.
I did. I enjoyed it a lot. Episode
It was
311. I'm not a Judas or whatever the hell it's called.
yeah. It was just sort of. It was more backstory almost like
Uh,
one of those building events. Like
yeah, yeah. It was like a building episode. They're building up for something to happen.
yeah. So anyway,
All right. So I would say that that's a conclusion to this podcast. Uh,
uh, we may be
enj-
forgetting something.
yeah. Enjoy this kill of the week.